bit of a chat about this mount nav. If you look at some of the previous videos, the bush was quite squashed, pushed out. So what I've done is utilise the crush tube that was in there, buff the bush down a bit, put a spacer in here where it should have had a spacer so it didn't crush the bush here. So that's now rectified. I had to change that bolt. The end of the cylinder head has got damaged thread in the end. This bolt's a bit longer. With it being a bit longer, I was able to pick up extra threads down inside the head, so that's now got some tension on it. And this end's back to where it was. So that one's fixed. Now the other thing I got too was, this was out of adjustment. So that should have a little tiny bit of clearance between the stop and the clutch fork arm, which it has now, but before it had quite a significant amount. So they adjusted that this week. Haven't had a chance to drive the car to see if that's helped with our clutch reverse gear engagement, disengagement, but when I have an opportunity to drive her, we'll give it another try. Hey Nev, give you a bit of a chore if I can. I'm going to see if we can track down one of these fittings. A bit of a strange angle, so I'm concerned that's maybe fractured and might be about to break. So if you can track down one of them, that'd be a great help. Thanks for your prompt response, Nev. I was able to track down one of these that were need for the carburetor. I ducked down the lane from where I work, spoke to Jeff Thomas, and he happened to have a spare one sitting on his toolbox. He's donated it to us, which is great. My experience in the past is mainly once these have been used a few times, they get quite a bit of tension on them. They can crack near the drilling, and what I've found in the past is when you look at them, you see the bit of a strange angle as they crack through there. Eventually lose tension, the cable pulls through because it's lost tension from the crack. You nip up the nut to tighten it up to stop the cable from coming out, and they shear off. It's not that they're unreliable, just the fact that multiple times being used and being tightened can lead to that weakness in that area. So we've got a new one. I'll get that on the car when I have an opportunity, and we'll have that resolved. There won't be any sort of reliability issues unless we have to undo this and do it up probably half a dozen or a dozen times. Apart from that, mate, it'll be great. Thanks for your help. Do a few more checks after the drive on the weekend. So everything seems to be okay. I'm going to check the brakes, make sure they're okay. Wheel bearing's good. Drum's okay. It's got a little bit of corrosion there, but that's to be expected. And then, like I said, all these nuts and bolts, just run a spanner over everything, make sure they've got some tension. It looks like it might need a bit of work. Yeah, well, just nip that up to the stop. There you go, mate. Good job. Inspection on the other side, so no different, mate. It's great. So pretty much both sides are done. Rear brakes are okay. Wheel bearings are good. A little bit of corrosion in the drum, but that won't last long after a few drive cycles. Everything on this side is tight. Let's move on. So now the rear suspension's been checked, the brakes has been checked, got the wheel back on. She's ready for another drive.